Hi there folks, this is Adam with 8-Badge Gaming coming to you today with the third gameplay video in our Expanded Lucario Series. So this is the deck that won the final Pokemondays, the Expanded Pokemondays this past Monday, and it was piloted by none other than our own 8-Badge's Mike Pinn. We've been piloting it to good success so far, basically taking 2.5 games, I guess you could call it, where one game we did get disconnected for no reason. But we'll take what we can. So we're just going to go ahead and hop right on into the queue there now, and we'll see what we get paired up against. Now, I still have no idea about how the typing will indicate the deck in Expanded, because there's so much I don't know about in the format, and people that sometimes just play non-real decks to begin with. So it's kind of hard to know what to expect. Now, we have gone against a couple real decks so far, though one of them was Zoroark that got stuck, and another one was Night March, which is the one that we got disconnected on. But we did also knock out Shining Rayquaza, which does seem to be at least a moderately strong deck. And we're hoping to see something else that's probably top tier overall. Something hopefully not Psychic. And it looks like we're up against Dark, Electric, and Colorless. So, let's see what we're actually paired up against. We lost the flip because we didn't get to choose the flip this time. So we're likely going to be taking the first turn here. And we do get to start with Riolu with a Strong and a Rescue Scarf. So that is actually pretty good for us. And if they do have, say, a Zorua in the active and they can't get it out, we're going to actually be able to KO that. So we actually got the second play. So we don't want to shuffle away their hand. They started Coco. We'll force them to do what they need to do. Let's attach a Strong. We won't bother with the Choice Band, but we will attach a Rescue Scarf just to keep from being one shot without a Field Blower. We're going to Cynthia and hope to hit another basic anyways, but we did not. We did get the Lucario for next turn, plus a Guzma if necessary. So we could evolve into Lucario and use Guzma to force up one of our opponent's Pokemon, likely a Zorua, if the case may be, which will be an easy KO for us, which would be great, and we technically don't even have to evolve Riolu if we don't want to. If our opponent does have a Field Blower for the Scarf here now, we do just get to take a chance to put another Focus Sash on there, unless he does invest the double colorless into the Tapu Koko. Now, if he just goes for, say, a Zorua here, for example, and we just have the ability to Guzma it up and KO it without actually evolving Riolu, would be great. But ooh, we actually get our opponent stuck here. So they don't have another basic. We won't drag it out. We'll just evolve, and we'll go for the KO with Lucario. Due to the fighting weakness on Tapu Koko and 120 damage anyways. Anything but resistance, we would have KO'd one shot. So we'll actually end up hopping into another game here now, as that one was probably the quickest of the day so far, where we actually just went 3 minutes in. And that's probably with not even including the actual time that we had in the game itself, or rather waiting in the queue for the game itself. So let's go ahead, let's hop back into the queue again, click through all the bloody prompts that we get from winning our match, and see what we get paired up against. So we didn't really get to actually see what they were that time based on their colors, but this time we're against Fighting Electric, Psychic, and Colorless. This time we're going to call Tails. And we lost the flip, so that's a little sad for us. That's 2 coin flip losses in a row. The one was our opponent's choice. Let's see. We do get to start a Riolu, and we do have Karina. We have Brooklet Hill, and we do have Ultra Ball as well. So we do have quite a bit here. Again, we would love to see a Zorua start some way, but a Joltik start is going to be fine too. So let's go ahead and we're going to Brooklet Hill here. Use Brooklet Hill to go for a Remoraid. We're going to use an Ultra Ball to, or actually let's Karina this turn, because we'll use Karina to go for another Riolu, but we might actually go for the Landorus here, might be the actual choice, because we can put down the Landorus. If they do hit our Riolu and not KO it, then we can put the Landorus into the active. And now next turn we have the Ultra Ball to be able to go get our Octillery. With the potential ability to get Lucario into play if we draw an energy, for example. We get a Marsh Shadow from our opponent here. And I'd love to get this Marsh Shadow up into the active. So top decking a Guzma could be good for us, because then we could get the Marsh Shadow just out of the picture. We see a double Night March discard on the start, going for a Shaman with the Ultra Ball. Ooh, a second Ultra Ball as well, discarding an AZ and a Field Blower. Oh, sorry, no, an Escape Rope. That's an interesting one. Going for the Trainer's Mail here. I believe he went for a Lele, which I think we're still actually fine with, because we could potentially Riolu to go through that there. We didn't check for our prizes, so we'll probably check for that on our next turn when we do get the chance to Ultra Ball, because short of discarding something big, I think we're kind of okay going for just discarding something that we top deck, Acerola, and go from there. He's going for a Lysander. Probably going to try to Lysander up my Remoraid, I would imagine. He does have the ability to KO it. No, because it's 20 damage times, so it's only 40 damage right now, 50 damage. Battle Compressor, oh no, he's going to be going for the KO on the Remoraid. So I guess we're going to be putting up the Landorus to KO this Night Marcher here, putting damage onto the Marsh Shadow, because then we'll be able to use Lucario to KO straight up. Let's see, they're at 8 now, so it's 160, which won't currently KO Landorus, though no, it'll be 180 with the KO Joltik here. That is interesting. And we're getting, is it double puzzled here as well, by the looks of it? What is he buying back, I wonder? Could it be the Escape Rope? Could it be the Ultra Ball? What are we actually looking for here? I'm wondering if he's actually just going to Lysander up the Landorus now, because we're at 8. So it's still only 160, so it doesn't KO the Landorus, 170 with the Fighting Fury belt. But we'll be able to KO back because of the weakness, so we'll be hitting... So what we do is we just go for Diancie off of Brooklet Hill and KO the Joltik back. Then our opponent is stuck with one card in hand. They're not doing anything, so hopefully it's not a server disconnect here again. I would be quite unhappy about that, as it seems to happen when we're against Night March particularly, apparently. Our opponent is still not doing anything. Their timer is going down. We don't have any kind of internet interruption or server disconnect there. So yes, they're going to go for the Remoraid knockout. So we're actually incredibly well off here now. Our opponent is basically throwing away their Joltik for us, and I'm totally okay with that. So let's go ahead and we're going to go for Diancie. We're going to attach a strong energy to the Riolu here, and then we're not going to do anything else other than go for a Hammerhead for 50 doubled for 100, and we're going to put the damage on the Marsh Shadow. And the reason we're going to do that is even if we have to use a basic energy, if they say use an enhanced hammer on our Riolu or something, if we have to use a basic energy to hit on that Marsh Shadow now, we'll be able to KO it unless he has a Fighting Fury belt. So we have to hope that the 2 cards in his hand right now don't actually amount to much. Us having an Acerola is good. He does have a second Marsh Shadow, which I think we're just okay with right now. Ooh, he does have the double colorless. So we will be taking the return KO. That's amazing out of the 2 cards in hand. So he does take a little bit of a lead, but we're going to be catching up immediately here now with our Riolus. And what we want to do on this turn is get a couple more Riolus down, just to be able to use the Acerolas to start cycling through this Night March goodness here. So what we want to do is go for an Aura Strike for KO, because we're hitting for 160 now with our strong energy. So we're going to take 2 prizes. If he puts up the other Marsh Shadow, if he has a DCE, we're a little messed up, because we're currently at 9. That's hitting for 180. If he has a choice band for this Marsh Shadow, he's going to be able to KO our Lucario, and then we're in a little bit more of a dire strait. Now, we do have Ultra Ball to be able to go for a secondary Lucario or Buzzwole or something of the sort that can start getting in for some damage. But our opponent being at just 1 prize at that point if they KO our Lucario would be a little a little screwed. Now, with Acerola, we can only do this with damaged Pokemon. So us not having damage on us right now puts us in a little bit of a predicament, actually. Now, our opponent is taking still quite a bit of time with their turn. I think what we need to do is Ultra Ball for a Riolu, or sorry, for a Lucario if we have it. Put a Float Stone down on our existing Lucario to get it out of the active. Sycamore to try and hit the cards we need. Oh my gosh, double puzzle going for KO here now, I'm guessing. He's doing a Battle Compressor at the moment. We have to hope that cards are prized, but it's not likely. We might just be dead here, folks. We are currently sitting at 180 damage. He needs to be able to get 2 more Night March Pokemon into his discard here. So, right now, if he is stuck with one of them in hand, we might get out of this. Let's see, we're 4, 4 is 8, is 10, it's 200 versus Seeker to get back at Juniper. He's trying to go for a Choice Band. He's still not at a KO. Thanks be to the Lord, but if he does hit us without a KO, we can get this. Joltik to the bench, Field Blower, getting rid of Brooklet Hill. We don't have the Choice Band yet. We don't have another Night March Pokemon. Oh no, we do now. Where did that other Joltik come from? That was not there when we brought it up. So we're at 11, that's 220. Oof. Alright folks, we've got a chance, but it's not much of one. And it's going to force us to discard double Acerola and hope for the best. We need to hit specifically strong. We need... Ooh, how do we get out of this, folks? Another Sycamore. So I guess we'll discard a Sycamore then and the Level Ball. We're going to go for a Lucario. Perfect. We're going to throw down the Lucario. We're going to put the Float Stone on the Diancie. Sycamore. We've got the Scarf, the regular energy, a second Lucario versus Seeker. We're going to throw down the Brooklet Hill. So let's go ahead and use the Brooklet Hill here now. What do we want to get? I think we'll go for another Riolu. We already have a Riolu on the bench, so if they get the Lysander effect off, we're messed up anyways. We'll throw down the Focus Sash here. We will throw down an Energy. And we're going to Aura Strike for not quite enough. So our opponent gets to hit back here. It's not a KO. He's got 1 DCE in the discard if he has... Oh, no, here we go. We've got the Lysander, and we're good and done. So we're getting Night March to death. That was a bad setup for us. We weren't able to get through their prizes. We didn't get the damage setup that we needed, and we ended up taking a loss. Sorry, Mike, we didn't get to get there against the 1 prize attacker deck. So that clues up our 3rd gameplay video there tonight. I do hope you enjoyed watching me get kicked to death in that match by the Night Marching crew. Hopefully our next games go better, and as always, we thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate your viewership, and this is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming signing off.